Well, this is it for Josh Reeves, Reverend Josh Reeves. Final reading for July, final reading for Josh for probably till next year sometime. And who knows, maybe the year after. What do I make of it? Well, let's have a look and see what you think about it, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Well, obviously I won't hear what you think about it before I finish, but I really would appreciate some more comments. You can just text me. I think my text number is in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. It's called Begin Again, Again and Again. Begin again and again and again. First quote is from Emmett Fox, and for the ones of you who may not be familiar with him, he was a very famous New Thought leader during the 20th century. Came out of England. Actually, he had a very similar background to me. He went to the same kind of school that I did. We both graduated from that, and then we went on to do different things. Well, look him up, Emmett, E-M-M-E-T, Fox, F-O-X. So, very interesting character. And as I said, very similar background to me. He came over to the US probably about a half a century or more before I did. So there you are. So we weren't contemporaneous at all. He says, within your own mentality, there lies a source of energy stronger than electricity, more potent than high explosives, unlimited and inexhaustible. You only need to make conscious contact with it to set it working in your affairs. And you could summarize that by saying spiritual mind treatment. Ernest Holmes, a little bit briefer, says, so shall thy wisdom guide me, thy presence dwell within me, thy love keep, and thy life envelop me now and forevermore. And that's actually from the Science of Mind textbook, pretty well into it towards the end, page 550. So it's kind of towards the end of it. It is a tome. Anyway, here's Reverend Josh. Begin again and again. He says, in my experience, there's really no such thing as a beginning and an ending. One leads into the other. Both are always and never happening at the same time. As a job or an event or a relationship comes to an end in the way that we've known it, I truly believe it's helpful to identify what I call the begending. He's combined beginning and ending and spells it B-E-G-E-N-D-I-N-G, begending. What is truly complete and what I am now moving into or willing to move into. What is it? Too often I have become stuck on a page for too long, metaphorically speaking, that is. Well, maybe even literally. Not understanding or willing to comprehend what has taken place. A begending turns the page, always knowing two things. One, that there is a whole story, and two, that what is to come is as great, if not greater than, what has been. Norman Lear would say, over and next. One evening, while giving a farewell speech, he admitted that as wonderful as the evening was, he already was looking forward to the taste of coffee the next morning, to what was next. Reflecting on this later, I imagined a hammock between over and next and realized that is where the struggle to live in the moment resides. And that was a quote from Norman Lear. Back to Reverend Josh. As we embrace our life not as a series of beginnings and endings, but as a collection of beginnings, we begin to see that embracing and letting go, properly understood, are the same thing. Well, every ending presents itself as the opportunity for a new beginning, right? So, for instance, when you and I finished college, or if you don't go to college, high school, or wherever you finished in your education system, you then moved into something else. Most likely you moved into the workforce. And then when you were in the workforce, probably more often than not, you didn't stay in one job. Some people do, but most of us don't stay in one job all our lives. I worked for Aramco and Shell kind of on a continuous basis, a little break in between. So even though I was with a combined, so let me figure this out. Probably about, I don't know, a long time anyway, about 30, no, 28 years, something like that. So even though I was with these two companies for 28 years combined, I didn't do the same job all the time. I moved into different jobs, and one led into the beginning, one ending led to the beginning of another. I'll give you an example. When I was working in Saudi Arabia, I got a call from my then boss. Actually, the boss of our group was off on an assignment. So three of us were actually taking turns to fill his role 2 weeks at a time. And one of my colleagues, it was his turn to be the boss. He brought me into his office and said, "How would you like to go to the Netherlands?" And I said, "Sure. I'm always up for something new. There's a project up there. It's in trouble. It needs your help." Well, I went there with the idea in mind that my total reason for going there was to bail out this project that was in trouble, to go and negotiate a whole bunch of stuff with the contractor. And the job was already almost a year into its existence, the project. But when I got there, I found out that was not the whole story. There was another piece to the puzzle. And the piece to the puzzle was the man who was running the contract procurement division in the Netherlands for Aramco at that time was going to go on vacation for a couple of months. You know, typically in the oil industry, you got decent amounts of vacation. A couple of months was not unusual. You could save stuff up. And then you'd take it all at once because they didn't want a lot of disruptions. He was going on vacation for 2 months. And one of the ideas of bringing me there was for me to fill in for him while he was gone. I had never run a division, a contract procurement division before. Never, ever. But it turned out to the beginning of my path into management, because when he came back and took over his job again and I carried on my other job, a year, 18 months later, he decided that he wanted to leave and move back to the States to be near his aging parents. And the number one person they all thought of to fill in for him, to become the new division leader, was me. So the end of one episode in Saudi Arabia turned out to be the beginning of a new adventure in management. But I've got to caution everybody here. You know, it almost sounds, let's go back to the reading here where Norman Lee is talking, and he said, "As wonderful as the evening was, he was already looking forward to the taste of coffee the next day." Fine. But my caution is this: don't let the enjoyments of the moment be spoiled by what's going to come next. So finish your enjoyment of what's going on, and then when that's done, look forward to whatever is going to happen next. But the real truth is that every ending, however it ends, is always the beginning of something new. There is not just the possibility of something new, it's the beginning of something new. It's just like every cause has an effect. And every effect then, when it's put in motion, becomes the cause of something else. And that's a continuous thing. It started with the Big Bang and it's carrying on. So every cause has an effect, and every effect becomes a cause. And you could even look at that this way, that say every ending becomes the beginning of something else, whatever it turns out to be. So that's my take on this. What does he say with his affirmation? I let go of what was so that I can fully step into what is, beginning again and again. And I would say just make sure that you complete the ending before you start the next beginning. That would be my advice to me, to you, and to all of us. And I want to thank Reverend Josh Reeves for his readings this month, even though he and I have not seen eye to eye 100%. It's been more than a lot of writers. So, and as I said, I know him. He was one of my teachers when I was in ministerial school, and I was impressed with him then, and I still am. So there we are. And if you're ever in the Lakewood region, just outside of Denver, Colorado, swing by Mile High Church. You will be impressed. It's one of these mega churches. It attracts a lot of people every Sunday, and it's got lots and lots going on during the week. So you can look them up. You can listen to our service on Sundays. You can watch it. You can watch theirs as well. So I know a lot of people don't just watch one service on a Sunday. They watch several. And when they do that, I would hope they get a lot more out of it. So just quick reminder, this is brought to you courtesy of Creative Life Spiritual Center. I'm David Dewhurst. I am one of the ministers there. I'm an assistant minister along with Reverend Lisa Ryan, who will be making her appearance tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, along with Reverend Katie Rox Brigati, who is a staff minister based out in California, and Reverend Dr. Jesse Jennings, who is our senior minister, and our whole team of practitioners. So we have a whole group behind us. So until next time, until tomorrow, hopefully at 5 o'clock, I will see you then. So take care of yourself first, and then you can take care of others, because that's what life is about. Build the foundation, from the foundation, move out. So namaste.